This video is not clickbait, it has several plot holes, and I'll prove it to you. Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm the Monio, the interdimensional demon who talks most about Dragon Ball Daima on YouTube, and you're on my channel. Let's get straight to the point, talk about the things that don't make sense, and the script errors in Dragon Ball Daima in relation to what was established in Dragon Ball Super. As you may know, Dragon Ball Daima takes place chronologically between Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, but precisely between the Majin Buu saga and the Battle of Gods movie, so Bills and Whis have not yet been introduced into the story, and the plot holes begin when Supreme Kai and Kibito are shown, already separated from the fusion. We know that in the Majin Buu saga they merge and become a single being, and in the Battle of Gods movie, which takes place later, they still appear fused, which creates a chronological error, and when Goku asks how they managed to separate, Supreme Kai explains to Goku that Majin Buu probably has some component that undoes the fusion, since in the Buu saga, Goku and Vegeta were fused with the Pod Era earrings, and then separated after being absolved by Majin Buu, and Supreme Kai completes the explanation by saying that he asked Majin Buu to absolve them and then expel them from his body, and that this caused their fusion to be undone, in the same way that happened with Goku and Vegeta. Well, besides being a plot hole in the chronological plot, this entire explanation is a plot hole, since in Dragon Ball Super, when Supreme Kai and Kibito separate, and Goku asks how that happened, it is said that the fusion was undone through a wish they made to Porunga, which seems much more reasonable and simple to me than asking Majin Buu to absolve them. But this creates another plot hole, since in Dragon Ball Super, in the Goku Black Saga, Goku asks the Supreme Kai of Universe 10, Gaosu, how he managed to separate himself from the fusion, since he was told that the fusion would be permanent, and Gaosu explains that the fusion of the Pod Era earrings is only permanent if both individuals are Supreme Kais, and in those who are not, the fusion only lasts for an hour. This shows that the explanation given in Dragon Ball Daima about Majin Buu being able to separate the fusion is completely wrong, and that this was not the reason for the fusion to be undone in the Majin Buu saga. And in this case, I really think they should have given the correct explanation, since if we assume that what Gaosu said is wrong, Caulifla and Kale would have remained fused forever, and we know that this is not what happened. But the Monio, Dragon Ball Daima has the involvement of the creator of Dragon Ball himself, Akira Toriyama, so if there was any mistake, it was probably in Dragon Ball Super. And I answer you that I do not believe that, since the movie Battle of Gods has the script written by Akira himself, and it has chronological errors in relation to Dragon Ball Daima. Akira Toriyama is undoubtedly a genius, but even he is not exempt from making mistakes. Dragon Ball has had some mistakes over the years, and a good example of this is Dend, since in Dragon Ball Z it is established by Akira that Piccolo's race, the Namekians, grow up extremely quickly. Let's remember that Piccolo was 4 years old when he appeared in the story, in the first tournament he participated in, but he was already an adult. But Akira simply forgot this rule with Dend, and he is growing at the speed of a human. But the Monio, Dragon Ball Daima is probably just a filler, so it doesn't necessarily have to make sense. Well, I disagree. If you create something extra that is not canon to complement that story, I think the least you can expect is that it makes sense with what has been established as canon. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Dragon Ball Daima will be bad because of these plot holes. I found the first episode fun and nostalgic, although I didn't like the idea of turning the characters into children, and I also didn't like the villain. I found him very silly. I understand the idea of making a comical character, like Pilaf, but honestly I prefer a villain who is a little more conventional, like the guy from Dragon Ball Heroes. But even with these flaws, I would say that the first episode was good overall. I'm curious to know what will happen in the next ones. But I believe that Goku and his friends will probably need to go to the demon realm, face those beings who guard the demonic Dragon Balls, and make a wish using those Dragon Balls. But what about you? What do you think of Dragon Ball Daima? Leave it in the comments, and if you liked the video, subscribe to follow the next content. Until next time my people, demonic hugs.